size is very tiny, and the market is not good. Why don't you go to Colombia? It's very complicated to go to Colombia. So I asked the same question to a guy, an entrepreneur, who actually manufactures detergents, shampoos, and household cleaning items. The response was, it's just too complicated. And I say, you know what? In that particular setting and fear, I was able to smell it all across Carrillo. We are afraid of going abroad. And we have to define our world beyond Carrillo. Now, one of the things that I've just been, this is my first time that I'm in your country. But I'm afraid to ask, do you consider yourself a Caribbean country? Partly. Because you are less afraid of going abroad. That's what I've been sensing because of your European roots and heritage. Now, the other aspect is domestic innovation. Which, for me, everything starts there. If there is no innovation, you cannot absolutely, do anything beyond that. Okay? Now, at the end of the day, the determinants of competitiveness for a country like ours, it's going to be based on natural endowments with a combination of some macroeconomic policies and the social infrastructure and political institutions will actually help us to do three things. Establish, some sort of quality of national business environment, establish some clusters to develop our businesses, and the sophistications of companies' operations and strategy. Now, I just want to go and talk a little bit about clusters. Clusterization or clustering is a term that is not really well still understood in the Caribbean. We're still talking about sectors. But what I mean by a cluster is this. Let's analyze the tourism cluster in currency in Australia. When you have a cluster of tourism, you just don't have hotels. Or you just don't have restaurants. It's actually an ecosystem where you have here, some of the basic services that actually complement airlines, hotels, restaurants, attractions. And at the center of these are the ones who drive the demand for actually travel agents and tour operators. But as important as they are, they depend on having certain services from banks and foreign exchange, stores that can actually offer souvenirs, duty-free, an efficient local transportation system, healthcare, local retail, and then in order to actually carry on their back office, they require maintenance services, property, food suppliers, and so on and so on. But the other is, all these should be supported by certain agencies and institutions like industry groups, educational institutions, and government agencies. This is the kind of focus that our country should have. Not sector-based, cluster-based, okay? Where we should create ecosystems that actually reinforce each other, It is very important. So what is really a cluster? A cluster is a form of collaboration between the private sector, trade institutions, government, education, and research institutions. And it's a way of bringing together firms of all sizes, especially small and medium-sized enterprises. Creates a mechanism for constructive business, government dialogue, and it is really a tool to identify problems and recommendations. But what is interesting is it creates a vehicle for investment in multiple firms and institutions, and as well fosters a competition rather than distorting the market. But let's go back to innovation. Let's double click there a little bit more. We all like Coca-Cola, right? We all drink Coca-Cola. Have you seen seen a change in the product in the last 20 years, %? No? They tried, but they failed. No? With the, what do you call it? Yes. But the point here is, the product, the core product, hasn't changed. But yet, they find ways to keep innovating on and on and on. Are they really innovating the product? No. What they innovate is the brand. What they innovate is the delivery channel. You know, it's actually what the brand means for the public. Look, those Coke dispensers. They are beautiful, and they were co-designed with the help of Pininfarina, which are the designer of cars, sports cars, and clothing. But look at that. It's a beautiful dispenser. And what they do is they keep innovating around the product. My point that I want to make here is, if we see this grid, we see that we can actually have two different dimensions. We can innovate around a market or innovate around a product. Okay? Whenever we are trying to basically exploit and not move from our market, which means that we will grow or innovate having the same product in the same market. But now, Coke hasn't innovated the product. It has innovated around the product, which means that really innovation is not about necessarily just product innovation. You can innovate the product. You can innovate the way you deliver the product. You can innovate the way your customers store your product. You can innovate the way your customers buy your product or service your product. At the end of the day, innovation is possible in every single step of the consumer's chain. Okay? In every single step. But let's talk about trying to innovate, trying to come up with a new product in the same market. And that sneaker, I think we all have tried the sneakers, the chocolate bar. But they did something very, very simple. They turned the chocolate bar into an ice cream bar with very similar taste as the chocolate bar. Brilliant! They, by doing this innovation, product innovation, they were able to increase their sales by 12%. Okay? What about a new market for an existing product? Chubby, which is this soft drink aimed for kids, produced by SM Julie Latrina. They're now present in 16 different countries, and they're entering very soon to South Africa. Very interesting. And then you have Kindle. Well, now you have the iPad, right? Which is a new product in a market that didn't really exist before. The point that I wanted to make is, you can innovate in all spheres. You can innovate by, if you want just to penetrate the same market with the same product, you can innovate. You can innovate by creating a new market for the product that already exists. You can innovate by creating basically a new product to sell to the same market that you control. And then you can innovate by creating a new product that doesn't exist for the market that is basically what is so-called blue ocean or an unexistent market. Okay? Now, there has been some very important trend that I observed in the last 12 to 18 months in the world.